Hi everyone, and thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. So in today's video, we're going to be working on splits, not the forward and backward ones, but like the wide straddle ones. So if you are working on your hip opening, especially through the inner thighs, this is going to be a video you're going to want to incorporate every once in a while. So when you're ready, have a seat on your mat and let's get started. Now, before we get into it, I want to mention one thing. If you have very, very tight hips, and you'll be able to tell from this little trick, turn to the side and open up and then lean forward. If you can't comfortably stay with a long spine here, like if you tend to, your hips kind of go back like this and you find yourself constantly pushing yourself forward, that means you have very, very tight hips. And what you are going to want to do, if that's you, is grab hold of a thick beach towel or blanket, or a bolster would work great, or a yoga block, and you're going to place that underneath your sitting bones when we are doing various, I don't want to say exercises, various poses in this yoga video. So go ahead and grab your prop if you need to. Otherwise, if you do not need one, we'll get started. So have a seat nice and tall, roll your shoulders back, go ahead and close your eyes and just take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth, letting go of any stress you're holding on to. A couple breaths just like that, just to center yourself and allow yourself to arrive into the present moment. Taking these few breaths to allow your mind to calm down and to allow any distractions to just fizzle out into the background so that you can be fully present for the practice. When you're ready, quietly open up your eyes. We're going to begin with a simple seated forward fold. So if you're somebody who needs that prop, go ahead and place the prop just underneath your sitting bones, and you're going to sit on the edge of that prop. That's going to give you a little bit more length through your hamstrings. Remove your flesh from underneath your sitting bones so you have a solid connection to your mat, and then just lean forward here. So even though we're working on the straddle splits, and that's mostly opening up through your inner thighs, everything is connected in the body. So we also want to make sure that we're opening up through the hamstrings as well, and that's what we're doing here. So your hands are going to come down wherever feels comfortable for you. If that's here, that's cool. If it's grabbing hold of the sides of the feet and you're able to pull yourself forward, that's okay too. Whatever works best for you. Don't worry about where I'm at, or if you're doing this with somebody else in the comfort of your own home, don't worry about where they're at. Just let this be about you. No worries on how tight or how open you are. What you do want to focus on though is thinking belly to thighs. When you think belly to thighs, that helps to open up through the hamstrings. If you allow your back to round and you're thinking nose to knee, I don't know where we got that. I don't know why so many people are all about the nose to the knee. But when you bring your nose to the knee, see what happens is your back rounds, and then you're getting a really great stretch through your back, which is awesome, but not if you're trying to open up your hamstrings. So belly to thighs is your mantra, and you're going to look out in front of you on the ground about 3 or 4 feet out in front. That's going to help to keep your alignment in check. Broad collarbones wherever you are. Try not to round too much through your shoulders. And we'll just breathe here for 5 deep breaths. So deep breath in, full breath out. Now you'll always encourage movement when we are stretching. So deep breath in, ripple up through your spine. Deep breath out. Let gravity pull you down towards the ground. Deep breath in. Spreading the toes, exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, arms are nice and long, and then sit up nice and tall. From here, we're going to come into cobbler's pose. So you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, and then pull your heels as close to your pelvis as you can. Your knees are gonna go out to the side. Your thumbs are going to come into the arches of the feet. You're gonna peel the feet open like a book. And one day the tops of the feet will come down to the ground. That day might not be today, that's okay. If you are super tight and your knees are up like this, that's okay. Just use your arms, use your elbows to press into your legs as you reach your heart forward and just inviting some openness through your hips. If you're somebody who's using that prop, go ahead and sit on the edge of a pillow would be a good one for this. So leaning forward, but keeping the collarbones nice and broad, drawing shoulder blades toward one another. Taking that gaze 3 to 4 feet out in front of you on the ground. I always like to encourage movement, so side to side feels really good. You might want to undulate through the spine, so coming up, going back down with each inhale, exhale. And then the other thing you want to do, this is a very weird visual, but it's something that works for me, so hopefully it'll work for you. Imagine that your knees have like a hand that's growing out from each one, and the hand is reaching for something just out of reach. You want to keep that openness, that sense of reaching out from side to side, and that's going to help open and deepen through that stretch of the inner thighs. So we'll breathe here again, 5 deep breaths. Remember that discomfort is okay, pain is not. If you're feeling actual pain, like in the knees, back off. But if it's just discomfort, breathe through it. A couple more breaths here. From here, sit tall. Bring the hands underneath the knees and slowly press the knees together. From here, come to sit on your shins. And then we'll take the right leg out to the side. So we're going into gate pose here. So what you're gonna do is bring your hands down to your thigh or shin or wherever feels okay. And then lift your other arm up overhead and just breathe as you reach over. And now we're opening up through the side body here. And the inner thighs, just helping to awaken the body. From here, point the toes to the front of the mat. We're just gonna lean forward here, almost like a funky crescent, or like a half goddess. You should feel this deep in your inner thighs. And then back off here and take it to the other side. So fingers come down, lift the arm up overhead, breathe and stretch. Visualizing space between each rib. And then we'll take that half goddess. So your toes will point to the edge of your mat and you'll lean in until you feel a little bit of something happening through the inner thigh. Gently release. Turn the toes so they're pointed out to the wide edge of your mat. Then you're gonna bring your other foot out to the side like this, and you're gonna lean down. You're gonna let the heel dig into the mat as your toes point up to the ceiling. And then you're gonna switch sides, and we'll just go back and forth like that. Bringing awareness to the inner thighs, side to side as you breathe. Link your breath with your movement one more time each side. And then rise up, we will take goddess pose here. So your feet are gonna take a wide stance, toes pointed out to the short edges of your mat. Sit low and then lift your arms, goddess arms, so 90 degrees in the elbows. From here, for a deeper inner thigh stretch, you're gonna bring your fingers down to the thighs and then just drop one shoulder, and you're gonna notice a good stretch through your inner thighs. The other option, if this is too much, is to just stay in that goddess pose. Come back to center, take it to the other side, 5 deep breaths. Come back to center. We're gonna come into frog pose, which is quite possibly a pose that brings up a lot of emotion for people. For me, it's anger. No, just kidding. I do have some tips though. It just doesn't feel great for me and for a lot of people. So here's my tips. Take your mat, fold it in, and fold it in. Now you have a little bit of extra padding for your knees. You're gonna take your knees out to the side, and then your feet will be right in line. Your ankles should be right in line with your knees. So straight back, like you can draw one straight line from knee to ankle. Just make sure that that's what you've got going on. From here, you're gonna come down onto your forearms, or if that's too much and you need to stay up here, that's okay too. Just move with intention. As you breathe, scan through your body and see if you can allow gravity to just pull your weight down, trying to let go. If you're like holding back or your body's like, no, just see if you can let go. Remember, discomfort's okay, pain is not. Just sort of surrender here. All right. One of the reasons I think we have a hard time surrendering here is because we're like, how am I supposed to get out of this? Here's how you get out of this. You're gonna pull your heels towards your butt and bring your big toes down to the ground. Then you can use your hands to sit yourself up, and then slowly, slowly, slowly bring one knee in and then the other. That's how I get out of it. Okay, you can replace your mat, and then you'll come down and we'll just take our first wide leg straddle. I always have to look at my pants here because once I was teaching a class in Germany to like 50 people, and I wore my pants inside out. And they weren't just like a black pair, they were a colored pair with a white crotch. So that's a great story to share on YouTube, right? Okay, so we're in our straddle. If you're somebody who has super tight hips and you're unable to like sit comfortably here, just take that prop and you're gonna sit right on the edge of that. That's gonna help you to lean forward. Okay, so here we are. Don't worry about how wide your legs are. Just go as is, however far is comfortable for you. Remember, discomfort's okay, pain is not. We're just gonna sit tall and breathe here, and we're gonna move the arms. So with each inhale, lift, look up, touch the palms. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift. Now as you do it this time, I want you to lean forward ever so slightly. Look up. Exhale, you can sit back. Fingers come down. Inhale, lift up, lean forward. Lift your arms, press the palms. Exhale, come down. Fingers touch. Inhale, lift up, lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. Exhale, come down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fingers come down. From here, bring your arms out in front. I want you to point your toes, flex your toes, or feet, I guess. Point your feet, flex, point, flex. This time, open up as you point. So you're gonna reach your heart forward, open up your arms, point the feet, and then as you exhale, flex the feet, hands come out in front. Inhale, lean forward, point. Exhale, lean back, flex. Inhale, open up, lean forward, point. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lean forward. Last one here. Exhale, lean back. Come to sit tall. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Pull your knees up. Just a little gentle shake. And release. Okay. Open up the arms. Take your left hand down wherever is comfortable. Maybe it's the shin, maybe it's off the mat, maybe it's over top of the feet, whatever works. And you're gonna lift your right arm up overhead and reach, however far you can. Maybe you can touch your toes, maybe not. And then from here, draw your pinky, your left pinky toe back towards your face. And then come back to center. Take it over to the other side. So the frustrating part about flexibility is that there really is no shortcut. You just have to start wherever you are and work on it consistently. You can work on it every single day for 5 minutes a day. You can work on it 3 times a week for 10 minutes each time. Inhale, rise up, come up, take it to the other side. You can work on it, twice a week for maybe 20 minutes at a time, but you do need to be consistent about it. So frequently throughout the week is my recommendation. And just stick with it for 6+ weeks and you'll definitely see some growth in your flexibility. Inhale, rise up. You're gonna try to open as wide as you can. And then from here, we're gonna bring the fingers out in front and just sit tall there. And then if you're feeling good, maybe you'll bring the arms out in front a little bit more. Maybe the forearms can come down. Maybe you are somebody who can reach your arms all the way out and the belly can come down as well. Just do what feels good. Or rather, what you can handle. And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. All right, sorry. And if it gets to be too intense, take a break, bend the knees, and then come back into it. And you'll find that over time, you're able to handle a little bit more, and it doesn't feel as intense. So you just have to stick through it. Stick with it, keep working on it. Let's go for 5 more breaths. Don't forget that everything in the body is connected. So if you're feeling this, like the bottoms of your feet, it just means that everything's tight. Like the hamstrings connect to the bottoms of the feet. Hamstrings are related to what's going on in the inner thigh. So everything is very connected here. Just breathe. And stay really mindful. One more deep breath here. Exhale. And rise to sit up. Now, once you're ready to get out of it, be really careful, right? You don't want to just swing your legs together. So bring your hands underneath your knees. Use the strength of your arms to lift the knees. Ooh. And then heel toe the feet together. Whew. And then just sit in a comfortable seated position. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Close your eyes. And just take a second to acknowledge your practice and your determination, because a lot of times this isn't comfortable by any means. And the fact that you stuck with it really says something about who you are. So make sure to acknowledge that. When you're ready, bring your hands to your heart and seal in your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section and I will do my best to be in touch. And if you're interested in ordering my book, Namaste, it is available on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and most major bookstores everywhere. Don't forget, we now have a podcast. It's called Namaste with Yoga by Candice. You can find it anywhere you download your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and more. And if you have a friend who you think may enjoy this, I would be so grateful if you would share this link with your friend. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you very soon here on the YBC channel.